From social media to fake texts and phone calls, Canadians are continuing to fall victim to various scams. The BBB's annual Canadian Scam Risk Report is out with the top 10 riskiest scam types of 2023. Joining us with more is Simone, President and CEO of BBB Lower Mainland and Yukon. Good morning. Good to see you.
Great to be here.
I think this is a great list because it really does paint a picture of the types of scams that are out there and what people are falling for.
Absolutely. I mean, our risk report is based on information that is coming through our BBB scam tracker. And what we do is we don't just look at the number of reports, but we are also looking at other factors as well, including susceptibility. So that means how often, when presented to it with a scam, do you lose money? And then also monetary loss. We look at the median loss.
And you're wearing red because you want people to stop and pay attention to this report.
Absolutely. I want people to stop, pay attention to this report. And then also, if they get presented with a scam, I just want you to take 5 minutes. Think of it as like a stop sign. You know, just take 5 minutes and then really assess before you do something quick.
Okay, perfect. Let's begin. And the number one riskiest scam for 2023 was investment scams. I think that doesn't really surprise people because there's so many out there. Are you surprised by the number of victims that have fallen for these types of scams?
What's really interesting is that investment scams, this year we combined them with cryptocurrency scams. And the reason we did that is because most cryptocurrency scams that were being presented with us had a component of investment with us. And so what was surprising there is more that when presented with an investment scam, people are really susceptible. 8 out of 10 times people are susceptible to the scam.
They really want money. They want that fast money.
Yeah. And then there's a high median loss.
Okay. Let's talk about employment scams. They are the second riskiest type of scam. Why is that?
Well, number two, they are one of the most reported scams that we see. It's actually second in reports that we get. And then 1 in 4 people fall prey to them with a pretty high median loss. I think with employment scams, people are still looking for work. And so when you do get presented with what sounds to be a great opportunity for a job, and in this situation, not only are you getting presented with a good opportunity, but they may take some more effort than they used to. And what I mean by that is now you're getting an interview through Google Hangouts, and before you know it, you think you're hired, but it's not legit.
Right, and sometimes people have to front some money for the job opportunity, which is something that people shouldn't have to do. So how much money on average did Canadians lose in these types of scams in 2023?
I don't have the total amount of loss, and we know overall that scams are underreported. Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre reports that I think between 5 to 10% of scams are reported. So what does that tell us? That tells us that there's a huge opportunity for people to tell their story.
So the study also found that there were some new scams that are gaining popularity out there. So tell us about some of those. Like romance scams are on the rise. You hear about more of those.
Yes, romance scams. So again, a low exposure rate, meaning low reports. But when reported to us, what we're seeing is people are falling prey to that, and they're falling prey with a significant loss. And so what that means is that the risk of being a victim of this type of scam where someone is connecting with you and you think you've fallen in love and now they're asking you to invest in something that turns out to be fraudulent or send you money to help them out. I mean, it's just a terrible story.
And that can be like $5,000, $10,000, $25,000, $50,000. It can be a lot of money. And tech scams are on the rise as well.
Absolutely. I mean, we continue to see people being connected with, you know, we still see traditional scams like phishing scams coming out. Everyone talks about getting an email. We were just talking about an email from your bank. And you think it's legitimate, but it's not. It's just another way to try to catch your attention and take your money from you.
All right. And online scams, I guess that kind of goes with tech scams as well. Online scams continue to be on the rise.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, there are different types of tech scams, and, you know, on our list this year, what is new is tech support scams where you get a pop-up on your computer or a phone call. They tell you that something's wrong with your computer. There's nothing wrong with your computer. They take hostage of your computer, and before you know it, you're paying a fee to get them out of there.
And so I guess the takeaway for people is to not click on something if they're not expecting it to be in their inbox, and not to take 5 minutes, to stop and take 5 minutes and just think about whether or not they were expecting an email like that.
Absolutely. Take 5 minutes. If it's unsolicited, if you didn't plan for this person to connect with you, then take the 5 minutes to do your research. We know that if you do that, that is one really great way of stopping yourself from being a scam victim.
Well, really good advice this morning. Simone with the Better Business Bureau. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Anytime.